Thanks so much
Hi.
for joining me here. Um, to start off, my name is Carly Rackal. My pronouns are she, they, and I am zooming in today from Winnipeg, which is located on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and the birthplace and homeland of the Métis Nation.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marjorie Chan. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm zooming in what is colonially known as Toronto or Toronto, as the Mohawk called it. That's on Treaty 13 territory, which is the original territory of the Haudenosaunee, the Wendat, as well as the Anishinaabe, which includes the Chippewa, as well as the Mississaugas of the Credit. We're also subject to the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which is a covenant about sharing resources and collaboration. So it's exciting to have this conversation with my mentee on these lands.
Today we wanted to talk about one of the main things that we talked about, which was writing. Um, yeah, I hadn't done a whole lot of writing before I talked to you about it, just a little bit, and I thought it would be fun if we asked each other some questions on it. We've come up with some questions. So, without further ado, my question for you is what is the part of the writing process that you find to be the most joyful or enjoyable, and why?
I think I love when I know exactly what it is. And I know that sounds quite obscure, but I love it when there's a clarity around the story and a clarity around characters' intentions, where something just really like just the perfect moment or the perfect result of kind of where the story is going. I love that. It's fleeting, because you might feel great in that moment, but I love knowing that when the pieces fit together and
Mhm.
and and knowing that it's going to have impact because of those choices. That's probably my favorite juiciest moment. The hilarious thing is I think writing is hard, and I think like it's not always enjoyable. It's like that part of it, like thinking about it, dreaming about it, imagining it. That part I love. The actual writing, it's hard. It's hard work.
Yeah, for me, with that same question, I found, everything falling into place was something I really enjoyed too. Like when you gave me that exercise where you had me write just sort of any idea that popped into my head on note cards, using those note cards almost as like little puzzle pieces and having it fit together and knowing like, oh, this goes here and this person does this at this point or whatever. That was so exciting to me. And like, that's what made me excited to write. It's one exercise that I'm definitely going to take with me forward into my writing, probably forever, because I loved it so much.
I have to say, sometimes I don't always practice what I preach. I'll be stuck and I don't know what to do. And I actually just say, what I tell people is like, you gotta work it out. Just put it out, get it out of your brain and onto a card so you can actually look at everything. So you can actually move things around. You can actually kind of imagine it in a better way, in a physical way. That my question is, okay, knowing from what you knew about writing before and knowing what you know now, what's like one major takeaway that you would want to offer as a bit of advice to someone who's just starting out writing?
Ooh, all right. So, from everything that I learned from you, I think I can encompass it in like one takeaway that kind of has two parts. And those two parts are just start, and it's probably gonna suck at first, but you just have to be okay with it. Um, because I think the thing that I came to you feeling was that I was sort of hung up on, oh, this has to be linear and perfect, and I had to know what it was going to be right away. And I learned from you and the way that you write plays and stuff that that's not always possible, and it's also not at all how it usually happens. And so then once we moved into sort of writing exercises and things, the monologue that I came back to you with for the play that I wanted to write ended up being that it was at the very end of the play. It wasn't even the beginning. So you don't have to know necessarily where you're going right away. You just have to start we'll end it there. And I hope everyone watching has a great day too.